Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever caught yourself scrolling through social media, only to suddenly realize you just watched an entire minute of a virtual police chase without even blinking? Well, you've fallen victim to a highly specific, very deliberate structure, and today we're going to decode the exact second-by-second scientific formula required to engineer a viral 60-second GTA 5 gameplay clip.
To do that, we'll be walking through the viral concept, the 3-second hook, escalating the chase, the climactic stunt, and finally, the editing playbook.
Section 1. The viral concept, title and structure.
You know, virality isn't just some happy accident. It always starts with a meticulously calculated premise. Just think about the phrasing here. I survived 100 cops with only a bicycle in GTA 5, complete with a bicycle and a police car emoji. This establishes such an extreme, absurd contrast. You have this mere, fragile bicycle matched up against the entire militarized police force of a fictional city. It's the ultimate underdog story compressed into a single sentence, and it is the absolute perfect bait for an audience.
And that brilliantly illustrates the power of scale. 100, highlighting that massive quantity of cops immediately promises the viewer high stakes and absolute chaos, instantly hooking their curiosity before the action even really starts. You aren't just outrunning a patrol car, you are taking on a small army. That number alone does a ton of heavy lifting to convince someone to stop scrolling.
Section 2. The 3-second hook. 0 to 3 seconds.
When it comes to short-form content, the timeline is quite literally everything. The first 3 seconds are an absolute make or break for a 45 to 60-second clip. The blueprint we're following is strictly segmented. We start right at 0, where you absolutely must ask the viewer a question out loud. Can I escape 100 cops using only a bicycle? Watch until the end. You're establishing the thesis of your whole experiment and explicitly instructing them on what to do next. You're giving them a clear, undeniable objective. Immediately after that verbal hook, the window from seconds 3 through 10 is all about pure escalation. You show the theft of the bicycle and instantly trigger a maximum 5-star wanted level to set the stakes. There's no slow build-up here, no meandering introduction. By second 10, the maximum possible threat level in the game has been achieved, and the viewer is completely locked in.
Section 3. Escalating the chase.
This is exactly where the visual pacing has to hit absolute top speed and just never let up. In a mere 20 seconds, you need a relentless high-speed chase where the environment is constantly changing. We're talking tight alleys, open rooftops, sandy beaches, dangerous train tracks, all the while you're orchestrating near misses with police cars and helicopters. This variety is mandatory, guys. It forces the viewer's eye to dart rapidly across the screen, processing new visual information every single second.
But here's the crucial distinction. Dodging 100 cops on a bicycle isn't just a funny gameplay concept. It's a very deliberate psychological tactic. The near misses provide these micro-hits of adrenaline, while the rapidly changing scenery prevents visual fatigue. You are actively gripping the viewer's attention by constantly shifting the parameters of the chase.
Section 4. The climactic stunt. 30 to 45 seconds. 30 to 45 seconds for this climactic stunt, and I'm going to set a timer. That's going to work for me and my Kukanith crew.
Obviously, you can't just run forever. All of that beautifully built-up tension desperately needs a spectacular release. This specific sequence of actions acts as the perfect visual storyboard for your climax. Step 1. A massive ramp jump, launching the fragile bicycle into the air. Step 2. A near-disastrous landing where you just barely survive. And Step 3, the comedic, incredibly satisfying payoff of the pursuing cops violently crashing into each other because they couldn't make the jump. It's a complete, satisfying narrative arc executed in just 15 seconds.
Finally, between 45 and 60 seconds, you resolve the overarching narrative tension. You successfully hide or escape into a tunnel. The 5-star wanted level flashing on the screen starts to blink and fade away. You've answered the question you asked in the first 3 seconds. Yes, you can escape. But how you frame this ending is incredibly important for the algorithm, which brings us right to our final point.
Section 5. The editing playbook. Editing tips.
Because let's be real, the raw gameplay is truly only half the battle. We have to unpack the specific behind-the-scenes editing rules that actually guarantee the virality of this formula. Let this number sink in, 1 to 2. To maintain the frenetic energy of the chase, you must make an editing cut every 1 to 2 seconds. This completely locks in the viewer's attention. If a single camera angle lingers for 3 or 4 seconds, the modern viewer's brain recognizes a lull in momentum and, poof, they swipe away.
So here's your entire editing arsenal. Energetic background music, adding subtitles throughout the entire clip, and sprinkling in memes, whoosh sound effects, and rapid camera zooms. These aren't just for style either. The music drives the momentum. The subtitles boost retention because viewers naturally read along, keeping them visually anchored. And the whooshes and zooms prevent viewer boredom by forcing their brain to process a new stimulus. You are literally ensuring the brain never gets a chance to tune out.
The final, crucial rule of this playbook is understanding the cliffhanger ending. You never want to end on a definitive period. You always want to end on a question or a cliffhanger to artificially drive comments, because in the algorithm's eyes, a viewer pausing to write a comment is just as valuable, if not way more so, than them just watching the content.
And that brings us to the exact text you should display at the 60-second mark. Should I try this with the tractor next? This perfectly illustrates how to leverage community interaction. You're outsourcing your next content idea to the viewers, making them feel involved and generating a massive flood of comments that tells the algorithm to push your content to millions more. Virality isn't magic, folks. It's a cold, well-executed formula. So the next time you find yourself stuck watching a short video, you really have to ask yourself, are you in control of your scrolling, or is the algorithm in control of you? Thanks for joining me on this explainer.